Maya and Lily had always been each other's world. They grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone, and yet, in their high school halls, they often felt invisible. Despite their closeness, both girls had lived through years of the same torment: the sideways glances, the whispers, and the constant, unkind reminders that they didn't fit into the world around them. The sisters had never known what it felt like to walk confidently into a room, or to have a stranger smile at them without a trace of pity or mockery. Instead, they'd endured slurs muttered under breath, and even teachers sometimes gave them unsolicited advice about getting healthier. They were rarely invited to parties, and they grew used to pretending they hadn't heard the whispers behind their backs. At home, they could sometimes confide in their parents, who would listen and try to be supportive. But even with the best intentions, there was only so much their parents could understand. The sisters felt themselves drifting further and further into a cocoon of self-doubt, barely speaking of it, afraid that saying it aloud might make the pain worse. Despite their struggles, Maya and Lily made a promise to each other. They would get out. College would be their second chance, the place where they would reinvent themselves. Through countless nights of studying and working part-time, they managed to save just enough to get started. When they finally left for college, their hearts were filled with hope and a fragile optimism. It was like stepping into a new world, one where they could leave their past behind, or so they thought. But college wasn't the fairy tale they'd hoped for. Almost immediately, the pressures of balancing school, work, and social expectations began to pile on. They had to work long shifts just to afford their basic needs, often studying through the night to keep up with demanding courses. They watched as other students laughed and lounged around the quad, carefree and unburdened, while they trudged from work to class, exhausted and overwhelmed. Their dreams of a new life started to fade, and they could feel the familiar darkness creeping in again. One evening, as they sat in their tiny dorm room, Maya and Lily looked at each other in silence. They didn't need to say a word. They could see the same weariness and disappointment in each other's eyes. It felt like they were right back where they'd started, no further from the feelings that had haunted them all through high school. They felt stuck, trapped in the same cycles of self-doubt and insecurity that they thought they had left behind. Then, one night, their roommate Jenna came in, her face radiant with energy. She had her hair pulled back in a loose ponytail, her eyes bright and alert. Maya noticed the difference instantly. Something about her seemed effortlessly confident. Jenna had always been the kind of girl they secretly envied. She had a full schedule, yet seemed to handle it with ease, moving through her day like she was gliding rather than struggling. She had a job, a rigorous class load, and a social life. And still, she always seemed completely at ease. Seeing their drooping faces, Jenna raised an eyebrow. "You two look like you haven't slept in a week," she said with a sympathetic smile. "Are you okay?" Maya shrugged. "Just worn out, I guess. College isn't exactly the escape we thought it would be." Jenna tilted her head, thinking for a moment. "You know, I've been using something that's really helped me stay focused and energized. It's called Nagano Tonic. It's all natural, made from herbal extracts and such. I take a little bit every morning, and I swear it's the only reason I'm still standing at the end of the day." The sisters shared a look. They were hesitant, wary of anything that sounded too good to be true. But Jenna's sincerity was hard to ignore. She rummaged through her bag and pulled out a small bottle with a simple label. "Here, take a sip. It's got this kind of herbal citrus taste. Refreshing, really." Maya and Lily hesitated, but finally Maya took the bottle first, taking a small sip. It was unexpectedly pleasant, like a burst of crisp lemon with a hint of mint. She handed the bottle to Lily, who tried it as well, finding herself surprised by how refreshing it tasted. Still, they didn't expect much to come from it. After all, nothing in their lives had ever come easy. Yet, the very next day, something felt different. They noticed they had more energy as they sat through classes, actually absorbing the lectures rather than zoning out in exhaustion. By the end of the week, they found themselves able to focus for longer periods, powering through assignments with a clarity they hadn't felt before. And as the days turned into weeks, they noticed another change. Their clothes felt looser, their faces a bit slimmer. The weight they'd carried all these years, both physically and emotionally, seemed to be lifting. They began a morning routine with the Nagano tonic, taking a sip each day and feeling a surge of alertness. With their new energy, they decided to make small changes, going for walks around campus after classes and experimenting with healthier meals. The transformations were gradual but powerful. Instead of dreading the gym, they started going a few times a week, finding strength they didn't know they had. More importantly, something inside them began to shift. With each passing day, they felt themselves shedding not just pounds, but also the layers of self-doubt and self-loathing they'd carried for so long. For the first time, they began to see themselves as capable, even beautiful. Their confidence grew, not only from their changing appearances, but from the realization that they could take control of their lives. They weren't simply being pushed around by circumstances, they were actively shaping their futures. We've attached the link to Nagano Tonic so that you can give it a try yourself. As their confidence blossomed, their world opened up. They began making friends in their classes, joining clubs, and attending campus events. Maya, who had always been fascinated by the mind, became a standout in her psychology courses, and Lily poured her heart into her art classes, receiving praise from her professors. They weren't just surviving, they were thriving. They began to believe in the idea that they deserved happiness, that they could define themselves outside of the labels they'd been given. One day, as they walked across the campus, Lily took Maya's hand. "Can you believe how far we've come?" she asked softly, her voice full of wonder. Maya looked at her sister, her heart swelling with pride. "No, but I don't think I've ever felt this alive. We did this, Lily. We've made it so far, and I think we're finally seeing ourselves as we truly are." As graduation approached, they looked back on their journey with a mix of awe and gratitude. Nagano Tonic had been the spark that ignited their transformation, but it was their resilience, their hard work, and their unwavering bond that had carried them through. They'd grown in ways they never thought possible, and they were ready to face the future with open hearts and open minds. On the day of their graduation, Maya and Lily stood together, caps and gowns fluttering in the wind. As they looked out at the crowd of friends, professors, and family members who had come to celebrate their achievements, they realized that they were no longer defined by their past, by their insecurities, or by anyone else's opinions. They were strong, confident women, capable of achieving anything they set their minds to. And as they walked across the stage to receive their diplomas, they felt nothing but pride for the women they had become. From then on, Maya and Lily knew that they could face any challenge life threw at them. They had overcome darkness together, proving to themselves that they were worthy, capable, and unstoppable. The sisters left college not just with degrees, but with a profound sense of self-worth, ready to create the lives they had always dreamed of, together. If you're ready to unlock a better you, don't wait to start your own transformation. Click the link in the description below to get your Nagano Tonic today and experience the energy, confidence, and focus you deserve. Make every day count. Your journey starts now to peak and thrive. Don't forget to like and subscribe.